Hello, and thanks for coming back to FemLogic AI, where we show you how to automate and free up time to do things that bring you joy. So thanks for following along. Today we're going to have some interesting topics. A lot has happened in ChatGPT land or OpenAI land in the last, I guess, week and a half, 2 weeks at the most. So if you're following along, Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, has been fired. He has, the board decided that they were going to fire him. There's some mixed messages as to the actual why of that. Basically, they came out with a statement saying that they did not trust him any longer. But then there was some conflicting things on that. Then a crazy turn of events. About 700 people of the 750 people of these 770 employees signed a letter basically saying they were all going to walk if they did not reinstate Sam. Microsoft said, Sam, come on, work for us. We'll give you a whole, division on your own and you can run the AI over here. So, a lot of things going on there. So, and then recently, about a few days ago, Sam was reinstated as CEO of OpenAI, as well as the board was completely replaced. So one of Sam's stipulations. So lots of twists and turns there for OpenAI. I still think they are a super strong company, but I have never seen that kind of loyalty. And to be honest, I don't know that I've ever had a leader, I've ever seen that kind of leadership where the entire company basically would walk out the door with you, which says a lot for his leadership ability and what he's really truly created a vision that people believe in. So that to me is more exciting than the drama going on, the back and forth. But good luck, Sam, and I hope everything works out for you. But also I wanted to just discuss that real quick, but I also wanted you to know about some of the really cool new stuff that was just released with ChatGPT. So we're going to get into that today. So stay tuned. Hopefully I didn't talk too much there about the drama going on, but let's get started on the cool new stuff. All right, everybody, the new ChatGPT. If you go into your ChatGPT account, now this is with the paid pro account, the $20 a month. So they've added some new stuff. So it's going to look slightly different. You've got this thing in the middle. I know that some people have told me that they don't see this yet, and I'm told they're rolling it out. I don't really know what the progression on that is, but they are rolling out some new features. So super cool stuff here. I'm going to show you. So look at this. What we can do here is, in the past, what I had told you is, you notice that there's no longer a little thing up here where I had to select, do I want to use plugins? Do I want to use Bing? Do I want to use, where before in the videos I told you you had to pick one? Well, you still can only use like one at a time. However, ChatGPT is now smart enough to know. So in the same chat, you can actually use multiple of them. And so it's actually just intuitively saying, oh, okay, so I think you would want to use this. So if you ask a question about, the Super Bowl, it's probably going to pull up some news articles, So now when I go in here, I say, okay, well, let's do an example. So I can say, write me a message about Thanksgiving that I can send on Slack and include I'm going to say a image of a turkey riding a pony. There you go. So let's see what it does. So what it's going to do now is, so I basically added it to write a message about Thanksgiving for me. So it's going to use your general ChatGPT for that. But it's also going to create my image, which is really cool. So I just told it, I want you to create me an image. And so it's using the DALL-E 3 in there. So I didn't tell it to use DALL-E 3. I do have it enabled like I did before. But now it's just going to automatically do it, which is great. So ideally, this is what we want with AI, right? We want to be able to go in here. We want to be able to, oh, look at that. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. It's giving me a nice little Slack message. And it also created, and click here to view my image, or I can just scroll up to the top to see it. Look at that, a turkey on a pony. So, you can come up with anything you want. I find this super helpful if I wanted to, like build a logo, or I wanted to, graphics are not my thing. So I find DALL-E 3 really useful for that, just to be able to describe what I want. So just something fun you could send out there. So that's one example there that you can do with that. So that is how it's kind of using that. So then you could also say, give me some links to, I'm going to say, articles about the history of Thanksgiving. In case you all haven't figured it out, it's Thanksgiving today when I'm recording this. All right, so give me some articles about Thanksgiving. So then it's going to go out, and now it's going to use the web, because I've told it I wanted articles. So it's got to go searching for that, right? So now it goes over here, and it's using, oh, look at that. It's pulling up articles for me, and it's giving me some more information. Let's see, did it give me the links? Yep, it gave me some links. So I can go here, I can click on these little guys right here, and it's like from the History Channel. If I want to click on that, it goes out to the History Channel and tells me a little bit more about Thanksgiving. So this is just really neat things that I think it's really cool that now with ChatGPT, you can go out here and you can use all the tools without having to decide which one you need, and you can do it all within the same chat. So that's pretty cool. Some other things that I want to show you is, of course, they've slashed the prices. So that's another thing that in the Sam Altman drama, there's speculation that maybe the board wasn't on board with the slashing of prices. So now it costs less so you still pay your $20 a month, but if you're using an API connection, you are paying less for those individual calls. And so maybe that is something. I think that was actually a very smart move. If you look at how really large companies like Microsoft, Amazon, a lot of things like that, a lot of their pricing strategy has made them the behemoth that they are now, is create a league of followers. And so I feel like they are creating a league of followers, which is, in my opinion, a really good thing. You would be better off coming in low on the prices and raising them later. Look at your Netflix account. I don't know if you're like me, but Netflix, whatever they charge, and I just pay them. I'm sure there's a limit, but it keeps going up, and I just keep paying it. So that's in general what you can do right now with some of the ChatGPT features. So you no longer have to choose. So it also comes in with the code. So I'm going to say, write me a schema using this Thanksgiving theme. So this is another thing. So let's see if it can write me some code in here as well. So I do want to show you, like, say, all right, give me a schema. You're going to give me code? Maybe I need to reword that. So I'm going to say stop. So at any time you can stop it right here. I like how it does that. You can also still use attachments in here. You can upload things. And so I'm going to say write code for a website. This information about, I'm going to say instead of code, I'm going to say HTMLs, which is the code to create websites, if you're not familiar, about Thanksgiving. All right, let's see what it comes up with. And so it should give me some HTML there, and it's going to spit that out. And so if you are, yep, there you go. So it's also creating code for me, and I can just copy the code right here. So all of those things are all in the single unit there. And so I did not have to create a new prompt. I just went right into my prompt here, and it's using all that data. So that's pretty cool. All right, so next up on our list, we're going to go over the really, really cool thing that I think that will be game-changing is creating your own model with ease. So that's up next. All right, so let's go into the ChatGPT models. And so what you're going to want to do is click on your name down here, and then you're going to go in here and you're going to go to beta and settings, and you're going to make sure that when you go to beta features that you have everything turned on your controls here. You can see where you can share links. And so what you're going to be able to do is build a model in GPT, and then take that model and you're going to be able to share that with other people. And in theory, there's going to be a store, and I think it's more than a theory now. Sam Altman announced it Another reason why they think the board might be upset is the store wasn't supposed to be announced, evidently. But so the store is going to allow you to sell that. So imagine getting in on the ground floor of the Apple App Store or something like that. I feel like that's what we're looking at here. So, and they're going to be a paid monetizing model. They have not released how it's going to be paid. My understanding is when Instagram did this, they paid really high and really well in the beginning, and then it, tapered off and they found their footing. But it's still a great way to make money, and it's actually super easy to do. And I'm going to do a video on that as well. But you can go in here and you can manage your shared links, and so you can see, like, I've got links here, and I can actually make it public, or I can make it just where I share the link specifically with someone. So again, I'm not sure how the store is going to work, and I don't think anybody's seen it yet, but the possibility is really cool out there. So you can go in here also to builder profile now, and you could actually create your own builder profile, which I have not done yet because I was going to do a video on it and show you how to do it. So it is a multi-step process between your domain. So you do have to have a .com, own a domain, and you can go out to GoDaddy and get those very easily, whatever your flavor you like. It doesn't necessarily have to be something fancy. So you can go out here and then you can connect the domain. So those are some other things you can do. But I will show you my model that I created real quick, just because I think it's so cool. So you can go out here to my GPT. And so I just created a model. And so now, so as you can see up here in the top left, I was using ChatGPT. And then when I click on my model, it comes over here where I said, and I called it the remote work GPT. And so what I did is I just loaded in some PDFs I found on the internet. So I found one at Harvard and one at Boston College about remote work. And so I can just go in here. And so it allowed me to customize like these questions. So if I want to click on one of these, what are good ways to stay organized? It's coming up, and it is specifically around remote work. And so it's going to give me information that it finds in those PDFs. So when I think about this in an application scenario, I think about, like onboarding is the thing that I think is probably the most useful. I think most companies have some kind of frequently asked questions. Here's how you get to this. Here's how you do that. When I started with my company, I was looking for my W-2 because we were purchasing a home, and I was like, oh, well, and I don't want to reach out to my boss, right? You don't want to call and be like, hey, I need my W-2. Or then also I was like, where's my discount code? Another thing, you don't want to reach out to your boss and be like, hey, I want a discount code. Or do we get discounts on, Disney tickets? Things you don't want to necessarily bother your boss with. So, but having this ability to just search for it myself was really cool. Yes, you could do it with the PDFs, but I feel like this is just a little more user-friendly and a little bit more, it feels more personal. And for all those questions that you may not necessarily want to reach out to somebody for, or might not have anybody. When you're a remote worker, that's one of the biggest challenges is there's nobody next to you to ask, right? You've got to figure it out yourself. So when you're going in here, so I just did a really quick one, but you can go in here and you can say, make me a schedule. I'm going to say, make me a schedule for today. I have a doctor's appointment at 2. And so it's going to make me a schedule around my work and what I said about remote work. And it's going to give me, and it's going to say, all right, you have a doctor's appointment at 2. It's assuming I'm going to work 9 to 5 because I didn't tell it any different, which I don't know about you, but I work a lot more than 9 to 5. But that'd be nice, right? So it's going to go through and give me a schedule. So I think this is a pretty neat little thing. So like I said, you could build a model around anything you want, and it's a way for you to control that model too. So inside of here, you can tell ChatGPT, do you want it to be public or do you want it to be private, where only the people you share that link with can access that information? And so that's where I think in healthcare and other organizations or other genres in the industry have lots of regulations and things, and privacy, probably attorneys and things like that. But this is a way for them to use that without feeding back into the ChatGPT model, but actually just feeding your own model. So you can continually add documents and information and it will get smarter, but it's only getting smarter on your data. So that's pretty cool. So I think that that might open a lot of doors. So anyway, I think that's super cool. I'm really excited to see what the store has in store for us. So no pun intended. Okay, so thanks for joining us today. Today we went over the new features, some of the really cool new features for OpenAI and ChatGPT. Now with your $20 a month subscription, you get the DALL-E 3, you get the Coder, you get the analytics, and you get regular ChatGPT and plugins and all of that in one. And you don't have to tell it anymore. Now it just knows what it wants, what you're trying to do, and makes a good interpretation of that. So it does a really great job, and I've been super impressed. Second, we learned about the new ChatGPT where you can build your own model. You can build your own GPT. So all a GPT is a generative pre-trained transformer. And so what you're doing is you're feeding it your knowledge. You're feeding it your PDFs, your websites, whatever it is, all your information you have. You can put as much data in there as you want, and that's still in your $20 a month package there. Now, I do expect them to come out with some different levels of packaging at some point, but I think that's a really great deal right now. So jump on board while you can. And the last thing we learned about is the upcoming store and being able to share your GPT models. So imagine if your company had its own little GPT model where, if you maybe had a call center, or even if like frequently asked questions. I know that you could do that with a chatbot, yes, but sometimes that personal touch is what, people want. I hear that all the time is, let's get that personal touch, going. And so this would allow you to help your employees if you had a wide berth of products. I was talking to someone the other day that they had a lot of products. They had something like 1,000 SKUs, and all of them were a wide range of, different types of equipment, everything from, equipment to, gum. And so they had to know everything about all those products. And that's a lot for an employee to ask for an employee. But what if you could augment that with some additional information? So pretty cool stuff there. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something to automate your life, free up some time so you can do more things that bring you joy. Thanks. Like and subscribe, and come back soon.